what the team is doing to you so that you have a fighting chance.
I think another reason that they're so good in the drafts is that they're one of the teams that really innovates a lot. You know, Team Solomid is the first team to really start playing the Flicker, and now it's been all over North America. They were the first team to really start playing the Koshka, and we all know the results of that. Like, and when you're the team that starts a trend like this, it just makes it that much more difficult for your opponents to draft against you because, you know, when you start making the Koshka work all the time, your opponent's like, oh, crap, we have to ban Koshka against them. And then you're like, cool, thanks for the Adagio. And then you're like, oh, we have to ban Flicker against you. You're like, cool, now we just got Koshka. Like, it's so many levels of their draft.
Yeah, in order to beat TSM, you need to try to outdraft them. Like, if you look at Worlds when Hammers drafted Scarf into their composition in Gwen, Hammers won 2-0 and got that led up to the Worlds to a 3-2 versus TSM. So you have to be able to outdraft TSM, which is hard to do, but it's possible.
All right, well, they're off to a decent start, a very fast start here. Misfits actually get Adagio, which by the numbers is doing better than Lyra as far as those healers go. But Team Solo Mid, they knew this was going to happen. They banned the Lance. They knew Lyra was going over. They've got something with this Lyra and Vox, I'm sure, planned.
Yeah, Vox is a good pick here because that denies Petal from the other composition. If they pick Petal, then TSM can run a CP Vox into it. Flicker is a very good ban against Adagio because Flicker and Adagio are just an OP combo together. So that makes sense why TSM banned it. Lance is also a good ban because Lance and Adagio are very strong. I would love to see Misfits here potentially run Adagio Cruel. That's a pretty safe pick, but TSM can run a Petal on test, so they need to pick something that can counter the Petal so that Cruel can shine and shut down the Vox.
Well, Misfits starting to use some of their bonus time here, about 80 seconds of that left, so lots to work with to really think about what would shut down this Lyra Vox as best as possible. Kroll an option, like you mentioned, something that has really had great success in both regions. Very, very popular right now. Maybe they could even go for a Captain Lance paired with something here as well. Disruptive against that Lyra, like you said before.
Yeah. I mean, they could go Cath, which could make some sense, but Arden, I think, will be probably the best option for them here. Finn or Arden, maybe Finn could work here because of the pull. You need 2 Crucibles for the pull, and you need a Crucible for Adagio. So I prefer Cath or Finn here because of that double ult. Black Feather is a very strong pick. Oh, Fortress. That's actually a pretty decent comp into Lyra since Fortress counters the heal.
I'm so used to seeing Fortress banned because of Europe that I didn't expect it to be picked up here. It makes a great deal of sense, though, and actually Petal the last pick for Team Solo Mid. So strong compositions on both sides. Let's talk a little bit about how they're going to execute.
Well, obviously Misfits is pretty clear what they're looking to do. You use the Fortress, get the Black Feather engaged, use the Adagio, get the Gift of Fire, and just start chunking people down. That's your primary goal. It's very straightforward, but it's very effective.
It's going to be hard for Black Feather to stick on Vox. Vox is not only mobile himself with his Sonic Zoom, he can jump away. On top of that, you have Lyra's Bulwark, and you have Petal's Slow and ult. Black Feather's going to have a hard time sticking on. So if I'm on Misfits, you need to max A on Black Feather, because once he's on that trail and it's max, he cannot be slowed. So Frostburn, nothing will affect him. He can just stick onto Vox. So they need to make sure they max the A on Black Feather here.
Yeah, especially when Sonic Zoom also, sorry, not Sonic Zoom, Resonance also provides a slow. So there's a lot of different ways for him to be slowed up. I agree, absolutely, maxing the A. On the other side here, the game plan for Misfits, you said, is fairly obvious, but how do they get there? Like, what is the key thing they need to do in the early game to make it get to the point where they can do these things?
They really just need to be careful in the early game, make sure they don't get aggressed on, so that the Black Feather can farm up, get to this point where they can make these engagements happen and work.
And Team Solo Mid, I mean, how do they get to where they're strong?
Yeah, they have a strong early game comp already. As I said, Lyra Petal is going to be extremely strong into a Black Feather or a Fortress. So hopefully they don't CP the Fortress, because CP Fortress is not good into Petal. You need Adagio to be a lane carry for the range to hit Petal and to hit Vox. So hopefully they don't play CP Fortress with support Adagio here. But TSM can abuse the early game with Lyra Petal here and hopefully snowball here.
All right, so give me some predictions based on this one. This is the second game, in case you guys missed that. This is the one which determines if Misfits is definitely in challenge battles or not.
I just feel like Team Solo Mid, we didn't get to see game one, but assuming it went the way I would expect, I think Team Solo Mid is going to be able to take this one as well.
I think draft is even, but you look at mechanics, playmaking, and synergy. TSM wins in all those 3 areas against Misfits, so TSM will take this game.
All right, let's find out how it actually goes down. We've got Dalcy and Forecourt Jester.
Here we are. This is game 2 of the series between Misfits and TSM. TSM took game 1 over Misfits, and now Misfits fighting for their challenger battles avoidance, I guess you could say here for Court. If they lose this series, then they are guaranteed to be in challenge battles.
Oh,
Now they're going straight aggressive. Yeah, they're sorry, Von C actually gonna find the kill. No way! Finds the kill, and he's walking away. Illis trying to find the snipe, but he's not going to get it. Von C survives, and now it's actually Illis who's on the run here. You can see Best Chuck in 8. He's moved straight into the jungle. He's looking to steal away some camps. King comes down for the heal, but there's no way they still keep him alive. King now trying to get a bit of aggression onto Von C. Von C's still alive, but he will fall eventually. Now it's King versus Flash X, and Flash X taking a bit of damage from those doubles there as well.
King actually still could get out of this one, but Flash X is making sure he doesn't go anywhere.
Oh wow, okay, so King is forced to fight his way out of this. A bit carry, Adagio does a little bit more damage. Flash X is falling back. Gonna run straight on into Best Chuck and A. Best Chuck is roaming on down. King has to know that he's coming and he's being sandwiched. He's gonna find the kill on to Flash X. Looking for the kill onto Best Chuck as well. They're gonna get it. Fessit's now looking for Von C. What a very messy early game. We're not even a minute and 2 minutes into this game, and we've already had 7 kills as Von C is going to find the fortress there. Now trying to run from Illis, has his boots, but it doesn't look like he is going to get away. Jumps, trampolines, and actually now the damage is onto Illis. This should be a kill going to Von C. I stand corrected. 8 kills in 2 minutes. How about that?
That might be a new record right there. But again, like King not being able to retreat from there, Lyra just really kind of progressing in with that fight, making sure that it could not reset. And TSM, you know, they got that advantage. It was their jungle. They were able to get there quicker. We had immediately boots bought for multiple characters, including King, including Illis. But unfortunately, Illis does go down with the history of a 1-2-1. Not quite what he thought it would be. But King, you know, kind of not even in lane either, right? 7 last hits. Now he's caught up a bit.
Yeah, no, it's an extremely crazy start. Something we're going to have to whiz by. I guess the bottom line of it is it's 5-3 to TSM, and they're up by 1,000 gold here. You know, Misfits had a bit of a chat with some of their players. You know, King said that they scrim TSM quite often, but they don't have a great track record. TSM, you know, win the majority of their games. And actually, the thing that King said that TSM does the best is that they abuse their power spike, their items. You know, as soon as they get that first Sora Blade or, you know, the first damage item onto their jungle, that's when they look to try and make the killing blow. Well, this time they're already ahead. Look at this. Von C just going to find Illis. Aggressive play comes out of Misfits to try and steal the jungle away in the lane. King is kept into the lane, so Eco's going to be in a bit of trouble. Von C going to find a double kill. Not what you want. Now roaming up towards the lane to just push King away. It's 7-3. This gold lead swinging to almost 2,000.
Yeah, there's no hard CC from these guys. Like, yeah, they can close the gap, but she has a trampoline. We got boots there on top of Von C, and those Munions with so much crystal already under the hood here, it just absolutely destroy. And we've seen that now 3 times from Illis. He thinks he finds that fight, he goes in, gets kited out, and he just can't really keep up with Von C. Now, down the line, that might change. We're going to get that Rose Offensive online. We're looking to perhaps, you know, a lot of the analysts said, you know, max out that A, right? Go with that buff here from King. It's that's not happening. We have on point here from Illis, and that's, you know, just that missing execute damage just early on, minus the level 6. Illis does not have a Shiver Steel or anything either. He's not going to be able to stick to Von C at all.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult time for Misfits. They're already down in this series. They're down in this game. Trying to play a little bit more proactively, it seems. Eco said that's their weakness, that they played too passively in the early game, and you can kind of see that they were trying to play super aggressively, but it's just backfired as TSM going to march straight into the jungle and look for the kill onto Eco. That's going to go through, goes Von C's way. This pedal is 7-1-1 at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. That is an insane scoreline.
8 kills, all of them. Von C has been there. He's taken home 7 of the last hits. He has that an extra assist, so he's just absolutely flying. Like, if you wanted a great start for a petal, like, we put her in the most fertile grounds, we watered her, and now it's all of a sudden blossoming way before you would expect. And Von C, like, look at the build. He doesn't care. You come at him, he will take you down. That is what he has set up himself to do.
Wow, that is a Frostburn and 4 crystal bits for Von C. Yeah, definitely well watered indeed. The green thumbs that TSM have are certainly paying dividends, and now Illis going to walk straight into trouble once more as Von C looking just to blow up this Black Feather. The kill goes Best Chuck's way. Misfits trying to retreat onto the turret, but a double for Best Chuck here on this Vox. Now seems Von C trying to share the love for the rest of his team. TSM going to take this turret away as Eco, baits out just a little bit, and this is just domination to the maximum.
Yeah, 6 minutes, 10 kills. That's going to be the turret. We're talking 5,000 gold accrued between these teams in 6 minutes. Like, you're just missing that mark of just utter domination right now. And, Von C, he's going to be looking for that second item way before schedule. And the comp from Misfits, unfortunately, sure, they might have said that they play a little bit more passively than they like, but I'm not entirely too sure this was the game to ramp it up, because Von C has just eaten these guys alive, and there's no hard CC to keep that pedal grounded. And I really do think that was a big problem for these Invid.
Yeah, no, it's just Von C has had the miracle start, and this guy's so talented. TSM certainly have found so much success with Von C. No fear as he looks to find his 8th kill onto Eco. Will be going forward. Ridiculous on this pedal. You just can't afford to give him a lead like this. Nothing good happens when Von C starts the game 8-1-3.
And it's just like, you're away from your turret. He can do things like this. Even if he screws up, sure, he did not get that engage on top of King. Flash X, he's no joke either. I mean, he has this slide where we got that sustained. That fountain online. We're looking for an Atlas coming up here from Flash, I'll bet. And just, even if Von C can't 1v3 you, he still has the rest of his team, and they've been just rocking off this momentum themselves.
It's quite funny, Von C threw out a bit of April Fool's joke earlier saying that, he's retiring as a jungler for TSM. He's going to move into the captain position as Flash X becomes coach. Everyone throwing out their April Fool jokes. Yeah, going to become a gardener, right? And, it's just, oh, psych, here I am in the VG8, just laying down the dominance on Petal. Possibly the best jungler in NA, certainly making a case for it right now.
All right, Atlas online. 2-item Best Chuck, no problem. Von C still has crystal bits to spare. And unfortunately, we are losing out on the vision game here as well. Misfits are going to be running scared, especially into this jungle area. They have lost out that first bastion of hope with that turret. It's done. It's in flames. And with no vision, no consistency here for kind of knowing where TSM is, unless they show themselves, they are going to be playing passive. They're going to be playing right to that turret. They're going to be turtling up. And we just hit first item here, Illis, right? 8 minutes, 20 seconds, no problem. He did tank up a little bit, but that's a problem for your jungler, right? Especially this weapon, Blackbird. He's the one that's supposed to be jumping into the back. He's the one that's supposed to be sticking to this back line. But just getting first item now, it just doesn't compare when you look at TSM.
A pretty immense lead here, and it's this fortress pick that we see from Misfits. It's only got one direction, and that's towards the fight. No way that Misfits can really peel any damage, as that's going to be the sentry eliminated at just 9 minutes. Now Illis trying to escape, and will be able to use that Rose offensive.
It's
more
not
defensive.
killed, it's eliminated.
Right, yeah. 8 minutes. Eliminated. Gone. See ya. Try again next time.
Yeah, get a new job. That poor Crystal
Pick up
Sentry.
gardening.
Well, the Crystal Sentry has no more job. Like, the job posting is done. It's out. King just picks up 2 items, Dowsy. So, I mean, there is a little bit of a sliver of hope, but it's just so intimidating being down 9,000 gold in 9 minutes. Like, again, there's no pressure. There's no counter to this really at all that we have with this team comp. Like, it's not online. It's too early. The spike is just way too good here for TSM. And Flash X is putting down scout traps everywhere. Like, if they know, or if they want to know, Misfits, they go move forward, TSM knows about it. Like, if you go for that treant, TSM knows about it. You go down to the shop, TSM knows about it. Like, there's nothing really coming through the fingers here.
Absolutely, it's a huge lead. It's almost 10,000 at 10 minutes here for TSM. And it's debatable whether or not Misfits actually have a road back into this game. It certainly doesn't seem that way, as King's just going to get blown up here. Just about gets taken down. The Minions doing their work, as this tier 2 turret not going to find very much fun for itself. It's going to fall as well at this 10-minute mark. TSM just starting to twist the dagger right now. Misfits, they know they're at sorts. They understand the incredible lead that TSM has over them right now. They're not getting any farm, TSM. They're just choking away Misfits. They're stealing everything away. It just makes this gold lead worse and worse.
Yeah, Bonsi, right. Remember, there's no more Sentry, bro. You already killed 3 of them. They're not coming back.
Pretty crazy stuff from TSM. Certainly looking back to form, maybe a questionable performance from them last week against Hammers, especially in the draft, something that they're so well known for. Their drafting ability usually on point, and so just showing that they're here to play once more. They want to maintain that first point. We had a bit of a discussion that if the possibility that TSM lost this quarterfinal, would teams be able to catch them? The answer was yes. Gangstars and Hammers would have the ability to catch them, take over first place in Split 1, but as it's looking right now, for Court, that doesn't seem to be a possibility anymore.
It would take a lot of missteps, I think, to kind of throw this out the window from TSM. Now, TSM, they've been roaming as 3. They've been kind of hanging out in the jungle. Misfits, unfortunately, again, just getting choked out a little bit. No real gold gain to their name anymore. But that has also left this lane to push up. You can see Flash, he's going to be getting some of the last hit value here. But as long as this lane is pushing, Misfits can't really afford to go anywhere near it. They can't get the experience. They can't get the last hits. And that's simply because, again, they don't have any of those safety nets. Oh, that's a root.
A root onto King. He's going to just lose his life. Very unfortunate stuff there. Treant, the MVP, as the double kill comes forward for Best Chuck and a Eco, looking like he's not going to get away from this one. Actually is able to bounce away to safety, but that is just devastation once more. Unfortunately for TSM, they can't push the lane because they've got this massive stack up in the lane, just making sure that Misfits can't actually steal away any of these creeps.
Yeah,
but
they're okay
they've got the Kraken coming up in 2.5 minutes. So really for TSM, it's not a big deal.
I mean, look at the last hit, 72 to 123. Now, normally in a game, if you're just tuning in, it'd be like, oh man, his last hitting, like King, he's just not on point, right? But it's just the wave manipulation. TSM allowed it to push up, King cleared it out, and then it slowly, because TSM did not counter that, it just pushed all the way back to mid. And that starved out King even more. So not only is Illis not getting his jungle, Eco's not getting an ambient farm because nobody's hitting anything.
The difference between items is that Best Chuckane has the money to buy his second Tyrant's Monocle, so he's at that 3 item spike. He has a defensive item as well, Aegis, so that's so many tier 2 items, and looks like he's going for more crit. King, he just doesn't have anything. Here's the fight. It does look like it's going to be Eco falling and everyone just getting blown up. Oh wow!
Call that a fight?
Misfits. That was not a fight. That was not fair. That was someone on the floor, blood gushing out, and TSM are kicking them over and over again.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm really convinced that TSM is just going to take it 2-0 because 17-3, you can't even crack it, and the choke turret is going to drop. It's the series of missteps has to become a series of unfortunate events, and they should make a Netflix series about how TSM could lose this game if it actually came to be. But I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening.
No, it's looking more and more like a solid victory. TSM though, they don't want to force fights. They don't need to force fights. They're just playing things very safely at this point. Waiting for the clock to tick down. That 15-minute mark means the Kraken, she spawns. TSM can take it away. That's going to be their insurance that they can push into the base, and that will be it. But now, pushing up, Misfits maybe pushed out a little bit too far, trying to get a bit of jungle creeps for themselves. TSM's going to say, nope, that's ours. I think you forgot that you actually don't have a jungle anymore. And you look at the map dominance from FlashX, those scout traps are just littered all over the place. And
he doesn't even have a contraption. That is just him simply just laying it down, man. And again, like, the vision game is exceptional. TSM, they're not going to get surprised by anything. There's nothing that Misfits can kind of do to catch TSM off guard, simply because every avenue has been marked. If you want to hit that jungle shop, they know. If you want to hit their jungle, they know. You want to push up in lane, well, they'll know simply because of the lane presence. But this is why Misfits have nothing else to do. They're in base, they have no safety net, and if they push out, they risk losing out on the team fight or the murder or the game, whatever you want to call it. And that would be that. So the longer they can turtle up, the better of a chance they have to come back in. but we know because this Kraken's coming through that it's just not a chance at all.
Got a feel for Misfits, man. They're going to be dropping into the challenge battles if TSM finishes this game 2-0. And it's definitely a tough task ahead of them, you know. This is not the confidence booster you needed heading into that stage of the tournament. TSM just saying, oh, hi guys, good luck next week.
Good luck, have fun. Wonder how the tiebreakers work because now Echo Fox is 0-4, and now Misfits.
They went to head-to-head. Oh no, they didn't actually.
But they didn't go head-to-head. That's the thing. So I'd be curious to see what Bacon would say at the end of this result. But with the Kraken pushing
there is
down,
no need for tiebreakers.
and
as,
16,000 gold, Dowsy.
Wow.
Like 16,000 gold. I just want to make sure we say that before the game's over.
16,000 gold. There's the first turret falling. TSM just going to back away from this attack of the pack. The Kraken doing work on this second turret as Misfits putting their last hurrah here to try and keep the base alive. Flashback's going to dive forward, and this might just be it. That's the first kill. The second goes Vonsi's way, and Bestchuk dives and finds the third. Domination from TSM, a 23 victory for them, a 16,000 gold lead at 16 minutes, and Misfits becomes the second team to drop into the Challenge Battles zone indefinitely. They will be facing up against one of the Challenger Series teams next week.
It's just so scary if you have an early misplay like that. And yes, it was a merry-go-round of kills early on with, what, 8 kills in 2 minutes, 7 kills in 2 minutes, somewhere around that. But Vonsi got them all. Vonsi kept mobile enough. We didn't really have the comp from Misfits to lock him down, get the kills. He kited it out. They didn't back off. And then as soon as that Frostburn came online, it almost just felt like that was it. Like TSM, driver's seat, they never took their foot off the gas. And Vonsi, the god, 12-1-6. Doesn't quite touch Bestchuk with the cash simply because 163 last hits, basically uncontested in lane. But Vonsi just, driver's seat on that one, Dowsy. That was the name of that game right there.
Certainly was. Well, and that is Misfits going to the Challenge Battles next week. The Challenger Series teams will be able to decide who they want to play against, and we'll have to see who picks Misfits. But for now, it's going to be back over to the desk to kind of talk us through exactly how TSM won that game.
It's all Von C, baby. Man, that early game, there were moments where he was just chasing someone down, and his pedal, like his actual hero, never basic attacked anyone. But the Munions did like 100% of their health whilst he was running at them. It was insane. Insane.